Hi everyone, it's ProdigyRex here, and today is, I think, the 5th installment of a guide in Prodigy. So yeah, let's get to it. So today we're going to be doing a guide on basically the main key focus of battles in the progression system. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so currently most battles are basically used the same way, so we are going to go into a battle here. So as you see, we're battling a Muckster. So the basic, it doesn't really matter what level you are, as long as usually you're higher level than the monster you're fighting, then you should be okay. That depends sometimes. Like, since my Pterosaur is level 100, the Muckster's level 83, I should be able to win this. However, here's the thing that comes into play: elements. Elements are basically, since my Pterosaur is the fire element and the Muckster is the leaf element, my Pterosaur will do more damage to the Muckster than the Pterosaur would normally do. On the other hand, the Muckster would do less damage to the Pterosaur than it would normally do. This applies to most elements. Sometimes your attack will do less damage than the enemy's attack, depending on what element it is. However, the baseline damage is always, remember that the more health an enemy has, the less damage it will do. This applies no matter what level the enemy is. If you're having a hard time grasping the idea of how much is a lot of health for your level, think about how much health your wizard has. For example, however, you may have to equate for the wizard to having a higher level than the actual monster itself. So since Pterosaur is fire and the Muckster's leaf, the Pterosaur will do more damage to it, and the Muckster will do less damage to Pterosaur. The same thing would happen if Pterosaur were, for example, fighting an Ice Neek. However, on the other hand, if Pterosaur was fighting a Water Neek, he would do less damage to it, and the Water Neek would do more damage to the Pterosaur, because since the Water Neek is strong against the Pterosaur and the Pterosaur is weak against it, then the Pterosaur would do less damage and the Muckster would do more damage. So yeah, that's basically how it is for a lot of elements. However, there are some exceptions. For example, with Astria, in case you don't know what element that is, it is the element Astral. It is the element that the wizard uses, aka like star magic. It does its base damage no matter what enemy it is except Shadow, which doesn't really make it matter that much, because the only Shadow enemies you'll fight is in the Crystal Caverns and in Pipit, which you don't battle that often usually. So yeah, that's basically it. Anyways, so let's see, for example, that my Pterosaur is really low. Then you switch to my other pet. So Muckster. Muckster is pretty weak. He actually missed, which is pretty common. The mobs have about 50%, I think it's like 25% chance to miss. I don't know. The exact odds is probably not on there, but yeah. So for example, let's say my Pterosaur is very injured, and the Muckster is not injured. So then you can switch to your other pets. This is so remember, especially if you're really starting out early, you probably will just have one starter pet. If you're really early and don't really catch much pets, then you can catch so yeah, remember that always think of your battle as a team. Always remember that what you're using right now is not just what you're using right now. You have to remember that during the whole battle, it's your team, not just the monster, not just your pet or the wizard. So yeah, that's pretty important to understand. Remember, and also this is kinda not working in 3 monster battles or 2 monster battles. Now now for spells. Spells are pretty like I don't have the magic epic attacks because I don't have any. So yeah, in case you want a guide on that, I'm sorry I cannot give it to you. So volcano. So here are my turn source 3 spells: torrent, torrent, wildfire, ultimate power, and volcano. I currently do not have enough whatever this is called, I don't know. It has to use 2 spells, so I am going to cost this one or this one. This spell does not cost any energy because, well, it's the base attack. This one costs 1 energy, this costs 3, and this costs 4, I guess. So basically, in this battle, you don't want to cast. You don't want to cast this spell because since the monster is strong against the water will do less damage. However, against volcano, it will do more damage against the monster. So in this case, the better option is to choose volcano. Now, key part in battles. Items. Items are very important in some cases if you're basically doing without like especially, well, you probably won't have this many, but the basic ones are like these ones: the storm resist. Ignore this stuff because you have to remember to buy it. So yeah, this one. The water resist, these normal ones, which are pretty easy to get. Those are the food, which is extremely important. Actually, I've been really grinding up. I have 49 of these. So yeah, as you see, food is extremely important in some tough situations. So sometimes, I'm not gonna waste this. For example, when my Ember Shed is low on health, I can use a snow cone. Well, yeah, that doesn't work right now, but because it has full health. But yeah, it will heal it. Sometimes it's very important to get yourself out of sticky situations, which is very useful. I want to note that in the arena, well, when you're doing a duel with someone, you can't actually use items, but in the new arena, you can. However, in the previous arena, you could not. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know what this is. It just looks weird. Now let's go to the wizard. The only wizard. Wizards are usually when you're just starting out in the beginning, your pets won't be very strong, so your wizard will usually do most of the battles. So yeah, these are the fully evolved spells. Don't worry about this one because this is just the wand and the relic. So yeah, these two. So you'll either have Astral Wave, I forgot what it's called. So basically you get evolved to Ace. So yeah, Astral. The element's Astral. Falling Star Smash. So yeah, so like I said earlier, Astral is basically equal to anything. It doesn't do extra damage and it doesn't do less damage. So that means the wizard is a very good generalist, especially if you're going against monsters you don't have counters for. For example, if you don't have any lightning pets and you go to the water region, the wizard is your best bet. Because it won't do any more damage, but it won't do any less damage, which is better than enforcing your fire pets because they will do less damage. So yeah, that's basically not an actual battle yourself. So in most battles, so yeah. I think that's about all I have to say. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a good rest of your day. ProdigyRex out. Oh, by the way, if you haven't checked out the other videos in the series, in my previous videos about guides, I highly recommend you do so. Bye.